How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for 15 years.
You've been doing this for a long time. You've been having a lot of conversations with scientists, with government officials, with the UN. Why is this so important? And especially right now, as we're approaching, your goal for World Vegan 2026.
Right. Yeah. No, it's important right now because it is a simple thing that everyone can do. And that has such a huge impact on the planet. And it actually has a huge impact on human society as well. So it's going from a system of normalized violence to a system of normal non-violence. Now that's what veganism is.
Absolutely. Have you read the book and what are your thoughts on it?
I've read the book and it's beautiful. It's comprehensive. It covers all aspects of going vegan. And she consistently asks the whole world to go vegan as quickly as possible. And she's asking politicians to create vegan law, create a vegan society. Right? And there are a lot of things that are involved in creating a vegan society, and we need to start.
If you can leave our audience with one message, what would that be?
A vegan world by 2026. Believe it, and let's make it happen.
Our first speaker is Dr. Sailesh Krishna Rao. Dr. Rao is the founder of the nonprofit organization Climate Healers and gave a pinky promise to his vegan granddaughter, Kamaya Rao, that he would do everything in his power to bring about a vegan world by 2026. Kim, have you seen these cute videos Dr. Rao has done with Kamaya?
I have, and they're genuinely a touching duo as they urgently plead to save our planet. The message is so simple. We just have to be vegan. Please, let's put our hands together for Dr. Sailesh Krishna Rao.
Thank you all. I'd like to start by reading an excerpt from the very first paragraph in the book, Love is the Only Solution, by Supreme Master Ching. She writes, I was thinking, how come the world is not better yet? Not like completely better, not like heaven and peace for everybody. Still, it's very chaotic at the moment. And that is an astute observation, and one that I think we have all shared. Many of us feel like things are out of balance. When it comes to the environment in particular, we can see that in recent years, there have been natural disasters with heat waves, flooding, torrential rain, landslides, locust disasters, declining bee numbers, and droughts. We are literally eating up the earth and leaving a wake of damage as we go with our future looking very grim if we don't change. The main culprit is animal agriculture. Animal agriculture is responsible for at least 87% of greenhouse gas emissions annually, which is much more than the emissions from all of the world's transportation combined. A major factor is the greenhouse gas methane, which is produced primarily by the animal agriculture industry. We have cleared billions of acres of forested lands to raise animals for agriculture. The waste that these animals produce then pollutes our waterways, land, and air, and creates dead zones in the ocean where there is so little oxygen that marine life can't survive. These oceanic dead zones are the size of countries, and the situation is made worse by overfishing. We farm plant foods, and then we feed a large portion of this to agriculture animals, yet we allow humans to die of starvation. 82% of starving children live in countries that feed crops to animals and export meat to affluent countries such as the USA. The amount of land used for grazing livestock, plus the land used to grow feed for these livestock animals, equals the size of North, Central, and South America combined. So many trees have been cut down to clear this land, and countless animals have lost their homes and lives due to this. It is no wonder that animal agriculture is also the leading driver of species extinction. But what happens if we shift our dietary habits and embrace a vegan diet? As Supreme Master Ching has written, we talk about all kinds of climate reduction or reducing air pollution, but animal raising, fish, egg, meat industries, milk industries, etc., anything to do with animals, are the worst producers of methane gas, which heats up our planet. So stopping these brutal, murderous businesses is the fastest way to cool our earth. And I completely agree. When I myself shifted to a vegan diet over 15 years ago, I did it because it was undeniable that this was the key to reversing climate change that we have done to the planet. When the behavior change happens, as we shift to a vegan diet, the veil that allows us to commit the violence or to order someone to commit the violence for us, for our food choices, is lifted. And then we feel lighter in spirit. When I went vegan, I had a huge sense of guilt lift off my shoulders, and I had been carrying that guilt for 4 decades without knowing I'd been carrying it. I once spoke to 250 high school students, and I asked them, how many of you are vegan? And only one child raised his hand, and I could tell that he had to raise his hand because everyone was looking at him. Then I asked them, how many of you would deliberately hurt an innocent animal unnecessarily? And no one raised their hands. Then I told them, by definition, all of you are vegan because you have compassion in your heart. That's who you are. You are made in the image of God. Except who you are and what you do are not in alignment. And every time that happens, you are suffering. Suffering originates from not being in alignment with who we are. And as we suffer in this way, our earth also suffers from our food choices, and the animals also suffer terribly. So I frame veganism as a journey home to who we really are, and becoming compassionate to all life. To quote the Supreme Master Ching Hai, be vegan, make peace, that's all we have to do, and love. Love is the only solution we need. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rao, for your dedication to bring about a vegan world as soon as possible, which is what we all want, right?
Thank you so much.
Definitely by 2026.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Rwanda is one of them. Rwanda Penal Code. According to a new penal code instated in 2018, any person who maliciously mistreats, injures, or kills a domestic or industrially raised animal individual commits an offense and could be punished with imprisonment, a fine, and community service, or only one of these penalties.